this. Our culture today says that these are just silly stories of an ancient religion that doesn't mean anything anymore to us and all the rest. We are much more advanced than this old silly thing. We're much more progressive today, more enlightened than those backwards people in the Bible. My goal here is to show how relevant these ancient books are to us today. And while the world is looking for the latest, newest, shiniest fad to cling to find meaning, I prefer to go back to God. Jeremiah 6:16, stand by the roads and look and ask for the ancient paths, where the good way is, and walk in it and find rest for your souls. Look for the ancient paths, the ancient road. We'll get back to that more in the final segment. I want to start off with this point before we dive into Leviticus specifically. Our founding fathers read the Bible. They didn't just keep it on their desk and try to take it through osmosis. They read it and they knew it. There's always this debate about how Christian were they, whatever. That doesn't matter to me as much as they knew Scripture in and out. And you could tell because the way they just reference it in passing, and even these obscure scriptures, they knew their Bible cover to cover, and it changed who they were and then obviously what they created. When Abraham Lincoln, I know he's not a founding father, but we go with it. This is a man whose mother, Nancy Hanks, read him the Bible every day by the fire. She died when Abraham was 9 years old, but he later said of her, I remember her prayers, and they have always followed me. They have clung to me all my life. But Abraham Lincoln would make these allusions, right? So some of his famous lines, Lincoln said, a house divided against itself cannot stand, right? Everyone knows that line from Abraham Lincoln. The nation can't survive half slave, half free. That's Matthew 12:25. Jesus said, every city or house divided against itself cannot stand, right? So that biblical scriptural language was ingrained into Abraham Lincoln, not just at a young age, but throughout his life, right? Now, what's noteworthy is Lincoln did not say, hey, everyone, in Matthew 12:25, he just said it, and everyone knew it. Biblical knowledge was high amongst the American people. Lincoln also said that the Declaration of Independence was an apple of gold, and it was framed in silver. That the frame was the Constitution, right? That's Proverbs 25:11. A word fitly spoken by you now would be like apples of gold and pictures of silver. Lincoln did not say, hey, Proverbs 25:11. He just made the allusion and everyone's like, oh, that's brilliant. I get it. Yeah, I see what you did there. If you go to Philadelphia, again, just another point about how the Bible is ingrained into our founding and who we are, what our culture used to be, at least. If you go to Philadelphia, you got to go see the Liberty Bell, right? It's fun. And don't get distracted by the crack. There's more than just the crack in it. Along the top, there's an inscription. This Liberty Bell was commissioned in 1751. It says, proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. That is Leviticus 25:10. The Bible shaped the habits and worldview and mindset of the founding generations. Hey, Slater Crusaders, we are continuing our journey through every book of the Bible. Now, everyone's heard of Genesis and maybe knows some things about Exodus, but Leviticus is always cast aside as this weird, meaningless, we're killing animals, tabernacle, what are all these things that have no relevancy to me today, right? It was written 3,000 years ago, and it is incredibly relevant to today. And it will enlighten your study of the New Testament as well. We have some amazing guests. We go deep, break it all down. The book of Leviticus, you can watch it now. Download the First TV app for free.